Truth is, I'm tired.
Amen. So, hey.
Hi.
And welcome to Tired
Tuesdays.
My name is A Natural.
And I'm Lenny Harold, and you are now watching
Tired Tuesdays.
Tired Tuesdays
Amen.
on the Disney Channel.
No, they don't pay us.
It just always, every time we say it, it just sounds like
They could pay us.
Right.
It would be nice for them to pay us.
Right.
But, you know.
Right.
So yeah, how's everybody doing? Last week was Halloween. We did our little Halloween episode.
Yes.
We've just been busy, so the clip of that episode has not gone up yet, but no worries on that. If you want to see it, the full episode, you have to go over to YouTube to check it out.
Yes, please watch.
It was a very, very intense conversation, very revealing conversation about our journey in the music business.
Yeah.
What's up, Alicia?
Yes.
Okay, James, what up?
Okay, James in the room.
So yeah, last week's conversation was crazy. Just us talking about the past and just how we have navigated our way through the music industry.
Yes.
And it was spooky.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But now that Halloween's over, actually the real horror story begins today.
Welcome to Election Day. So, have you voted? Because if you haven't, shame on you.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. This is our main topic for today, is talking about this election, because I feel like there's ways that we can maybe, piece it with the music stuff.
I'm gonna do my plug real quick.
Okay, yeah, let's do your plug and then we'll get into it.
We got lucky shirts that's pop locking.
Amen.
All right, you just hit my link in my bio on my page. Okay, you can get lucky on your titties.
Right
okay,
on the titties.
Lucky on the titties.
On the titty
you know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. We just gonna put that out there.
Go on to lennyharold.com.
Yes.
And get you your lucky merchandise.
Yes, lucky merch.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can also go to anaturalforever.com and get your A Natural Kwame merchandise.
How you doing?
Well.
How you doing?
Let's go.
How you doing?
All
right.
now
since that's over, right?
Oh wait, and before we even get into that, let's remind everyone that we are going to be doing a talent competition for Tired Tuesdays.
Yes.
We still are getting all the final details together, but we will be making the official announcement very soon. So if you want to show your skills, if you got a talent that you think deserves to be seen by the masses, then please prepare yourselves to join us live on Tired Tuesdays.
Prepare yourself and your ministry, and so you can bless everybody else.
Ministry though?
Yeah,
I just don't want nobody thinking it's their moment. Like, it's their moment, but it's not their moment.
It's their moment.
We got a whole, we only got an hour.
It's their moment. You know what I mean?
You can do your thing. Just make sure that
show us what you got.
Let's say 30 seconds.
Damn, that's short.
Listen, you got to hit it and quit it. That's how other shows do.
So everybody know everything.
Start at the bridge. That's what I like. Okay, listen, that is what I have learned. If you want to wow us, start at the bridge. Okay? Do not start at the first verse because I'm already tuning you out and wait for the next person. So you give me the bridge and the high note and we're good to go. That's what I need. So yeah, y'all prepare yourselves.
Right.
To come on into the Tired Tuesdays live, and we will showcase your talent. And I think, whoever wins, we will be sending you a nice little prize package from Tired Tuesdays. It might even include some stuff from A Natural Lenny Harold. You never know.
You never know.
So
you never know.
We will be making the official announcement of what date that's going to take place and what you guys need to get ready. So looking forward to that.
That should be fun. That should be fun. What's up, Waffle? Yep, start at the modulation. Alicia know.
Wait, BB said A Natural always Joe Jackson.
Oh, yes. Listen.
If there was no Joe Jackson, there'd be no Michael or Janet. So listen, at the end of the day, I want them notes right.
Listen, Bianca, he always got a belt. He always got a belt ready.
Got a belt for every reason. A belt for every season. Amen. So let's get into this, and I don't even think we need to stay on this long. It's probably not even going to be like a super long episode.
I feel like we're gonna lose everybody because I know everybody's about tired.
Yeah. If you have voted, then let us know in the comments that you guys have voted. You don't have to tell us who you voted for.
Yeah.
But, let us know that you did vote. I mean, it is important.
It is.
And I think that it's necessary. What we literally just mentioned this before we got on live tonight. But what's not necessary is the annoyance of it all.
Can I tell you, that Biden crew has been hitting my emails, they have been hitting my text messages, and they have been calling a brother to the point where now I have blocked the phone number. Okay. And one of the numbers is blocked on my text messages too, because I'm like, okay, I voted already. Like,
I turn my computer on for work, mind you, and it opens up Google Chrome. And the first thing I see is, have you voted? I'm like, I'm already annoyed by my job. I don't want to be annoyed by y'all too.
Right.
Like, leave us alone.
It's insane.
Like, I put my ballot in the box last week.
Gotcha.
You did yours earlier, right?
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it might have been like maybe a week before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I checked. There's a way that you can check online to see if they have counted your vote and if everything's processed. And I confirmed that they did.
Right.
So I voted.
Right.
And they should also have a little thing that tells everybody else that I have voted.
Right.
So leave me alone.
Since everybody got your phone number and your emails.
Right. Like, I don't know. And I feel like, that's the other thing. So, I usually watch, this is bad, but to help me go to sleep, I watch Adult Swim.
Oh.
On Cartoon Network.
I know where you was going with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. I usually watch the cartoons on Adult Swim because they're funny. I like those cartoons. But now they start doing the Trump ads during the cartoons.
You're kidding.
And I'm like, this is not the right channel for that. Like,
right, yeah, keep all the political stuff out of
not
Cartoon
even
Network.
that, but nobody that's watching Adult Swim at this time of night is voting for Donald Trump.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, I don't want this man in my house. I don't want him on the TV screen.
It's enough
like,
already.
It's
enough.
Love watching adult animation. Also questionable. Adult Swim is funny. But yeah, so it's just been this constant barrage of vote. And I get it. Like, Instagram, if you say the word vote in one of your posts, then they automatically add a link to get more information about voting. Yeah. Could y'all automatically add the link to my album?
Right.
Like, can you automatically add the link to my website?
Right.
Because that's annoying. Like, I get it. It's definitely one of the most important elections that we've ever had. I don't even want to say it's one of the most important elections. I think this is maybe one of the most...
The media is making this the most important.
Yeah.
Because it's, do I want to go there? I'm going to just stop right there.
No,
I don't know if I really want to go there.
Let's go there because here's the thing, and
I don't know if I do.
I honestly believe Let's unravel this because there's a lot to unpack.
Because the media have been kicking their game all the way up.
The president of the United States, I don't believe, is the real machine. The government and the Congress and all the other pieces and all that kind of stuff, those are the real machine.
It's the House.
So when it comes to the media and how we form our opinions about the machine and the president, the media really is in control. Mm-hmm. And so they are the ones that will dictate to you, and you can hear it in some of just the stories that they will say on the news. Yep. Like, and I'm talking like local news. Yeah. The way that they frame certain stories, because you can hear some of the bias.
It's all about language.
You can hear some of where they want you to, form your opinions and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, I get it. Like, they've been pressuring us to vote. The celebrities are now pressuring us to vote. Mm-hmm. Lady Gaga is getting on my nerves. Like, she got a whole album that she's not promoting because she's worried about voting. Right. And I get it. Right. Vote. We're all gonna do it. But could you make some money for yourself? Like, do this thing. And it's just, I don't know. This seems like this is the most annoying election that I've ever experienced. Yeah. Yeah. This one particularly just seems very annoying, and I kind of just want it to be over. Right.
Comes away. What did Alnisha say?
She said Trump still has to answer to someone. So yeah, the government forms the way things are being pushed on us. Yeah. And then she said, plus they aren't sharing everything. Exactly.
And that's the other thing about it. That's why to so many levels, like, it was hard for me to form my own opinion on who I was voting for, because every channel that you watched, all depending on what channel you were watching, you already knew who they were voting for and who they were pushing for. And so, and everybody sounds good. That's the thing. Everybody sounds good. Everybody, and then when they start pulling out people's dark past, and it's just like, okay, we all have dark past. Like
there was one. There's a black woman who was running for, I think, a Congress seat in New York, and she's running against some white guy, and she had her commercial that says, you know, I was in the army and I did this and I did that, so you know that you can trust me and I'm gonna do this. The very next commercial, she got let go of the army twice. You can't trust her. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, wait, I thought I could trust her.
Right.
And now you're telling me that I can't.
Right.
And it's like, okay, what happens after tomorrow? Are these ads still valid?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's weird.
This is what I'm saying. It's like, and I think because we're in the age of social media and people know how much information we're taking in constantly, this is why they're flying so much information and so much tactic during this whole entire election process. And it's overwhelming.
It is.
It's overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming. And, you know, this was the 1 year, not the 1 year, because I normally will do my research, but I literally scoured the web to find out what everybody was standing for.
Same.
Because since there were so many mixed messages coming from all over the place,
right.
you really don't know what to believe.
Yep.
So, you know, the only thing that I knew I needed to vote for was for marijuana to be legal in Jersey.
Okay.
And I don't smoke it.
Facts.
I just want it to be legal.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
Like, I think that, you know, it deserves a chance to be legal. And,
it does.
And if they're going to do that, they need to repeal the sentences of people that have been put in jail for selling marijuana.
Number one.
Like, it cannot just be legal for white people that want to open up a dispensary.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be legal for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's my thing.
Exactly.
Y'all are in here talking tonight. Hold on, let me see. Lynn said there needed to be a moratorium on the commercials, though. Like, the week before the election, they needed to stop flooding us with them. It's exhausting. But you know what, though? There used to be a time where they would only do the commercials the week before the election.
Right.
And
or at least 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks before the election.
They've been doing this mess since like July.
Yeah, but
heavy.
They've been doing this since the beginning of the year.
True.
Because remember, we also had the primaries.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, that's right.
So they've been Donald Trump never stopped campaigning.
He really hasn't.
He hasn't stopped campaigning since he won the first election.
Right.
And that's the thing that's really kind of like, this is gonna sound crazy, I almost appreciate that. Because if you think about it, let's say in relation to the music industry, once you put your project out, you got to promote that shit.
Yeah.
And you're really supposed to be promoting it for at least a year.
Yeah.
So with him, the fact that he was campaigning for the last 4 years to still be the president,
right?
I would not be surprised if that helped him. If that helped him to win.
Right.
It's annoying, but again, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
Whereas the Democrats, they just kind of been sitting and chilling for the last 4 years.
Well, no, they haven't been sitting. What they have been doing is telling us how much of a job that Trump isn't doing. Mm-hmm. But they've also been giving us just enough information on what they're going to do, but all of the information about what Trump isn't doing. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that's been kind of hard for me too as well.
Because they keep saying, yeah, he's bad, he's bad, he's bad. Okay, so what are you going to do that's better?
What are you going to do? And they've kind of given their plans, but it's the language. Everybody, you gotta pay attention to language, because the way that certain things are worded, it's giving the impression that there still has not been a plan from either side.
Yeah.
To really be honest, there hasn't been a plan from either side. So it's like,
it's disheartening, because this particular election is showing us the worst of our political system. And whereas other elections have shown at least the surface of the worst, but not the actual worst. Like this shit is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
On both sides.
What's everybody been saying? Oops,
that's all right. Let's see what y'all saying. The problem was he was campaigning against. Come back. Go away. I can't see it. The problem was he was campaigning against Obama and not Biden. Yes.
Facts.
Yes.
Facts.
Because as if he didn't win the election.
Right.
Like you won.
Right.
Stop telling us that
his
you beat
first
someone.
2 years was seriously doing that.
He's still doing it now. He's
Oh,
still
I
talking
haven't
about
heard.
Hillary's emails.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
still talking about, you know,
You're right.
like all of that. It's like,
You're
dude,
right.
you
I remember
won.
the Hillary
Chill
email
out.
thing.
He's just mad that he didn't win the popular vote. He won the electoral vote.
Exactly.
Which he thought he was good enough to get the popular vote, and he wasn't.
And it got under his skin.
Yeah. Keep in mind that Trump is a businessman. His concern is the influence to the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Every Democratic city is tore up, so these politicians got to do better.
Yeah.
You know, yes and no, because, and I'll speak for Jersey. Trump keeps saying that Newark is a big problem, and Newark has actually been turning itself around. It may be turning itself around in the form of gentrification, but the city of Newark itself has seen lower crime numbers than it's ever seen before. And that's thanks to Cory Booker. That's thanks to Ras Baraka.
Yeah.
Like they have been really trying to turn Newark around.
You're right about that.
But a lot of the real problem areas in this country is in the rural Midwest, in the South, and those are places that are usually Republican that he's been making these promises to, but he has not been keeping.
Yeah.
And honestly, the way that he's been handling this COVID situation, when all of those people have been losing family members, they're not confident in him going forward for the next 4 years dealing with this pandemic.
And that's the main thing.
Like, and I don't see why he doesn't see that.
But he does. You can tell he sees that. He knows that. That's why his language is worded in a particular way. That's why every time he hits a mic, he always says the vaccine is coming soon. Because he's trying to remind people that, or trying to encourage trust in him, that he's moving as fast as he can in this whole warp speed plan. So
I saw Contagion. That's all I'm gonna say.
And all I know is that if Gates is involved and his family ain't taking no vaccine, I ain't taking no vaccine.
And with Gates' wife saying, "Oh, we're gonna give it to all the black people first," yeah, I pass.
But no shade. This is where we are with media. They always test everything on our communities, and the fact that now it's coded in, we know that the black community and the minorities have been suffering the most. We're going to now, this isn't good deed. No, you guys have always been doing this.
No, they're going to test it out first, just like they did with that thing back in, like, I think it was the 50s or 60s, where they did that one test in Chicago, I think it was, or Detroit, something like that. And they had like a whole bunch of stuff in the air, and it was in this black, condensed black part of the city. And they literally got a whole bunch of people cancer for no reason.
Wow.
But
that goes back. I forgot the
Tuskegee experiment.
Yes, Yep.
If he would have just acted like he cared about the many people who died from COVID, he would have a really good chance at winning.
Right. But instead, he's constantly looking at it from a business perspective. He's a businessman, and the US is a corporation to him.
That's the thing that I realized the other day. I was watching John Oliver on HBO. Whenever he talks about COVID, whenever Trump talks about COVID, he always says the numbers.
Yep.
And that has always bothered me, because it's not the numbers, it's people.
But he only knows business.
He only knows business. He only knows numbers. That's why he's always so bent out of shape about ratings and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But the fact that he keeps referring to the numbers are good, we want to keep the numbers low. Or the numbers, if they do this, it's going to get too high. The numbers, the numbers.
Right.
And no, these are people's lives.
Right.
They're not numbers.
Yeah.
When you got the COVID, were you just a number?
Right.
When your wife and your son got the COVID, were you just a number?
Right.
If y'all really got it.
If you got the COVID.
It's really sad at how heartless the president has been during this time period. It's unprecedented. I don't think we've ever had a president in history who's just said, "Oh, it is what it is."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And been able to just stand on that and just be like, "It is what it is."
So beyond COVID, let's do a little thing. I know they're green.
Okay. I just wanted to close out any comments that were made.
What is your biggest issue that you would want the new president or whoever to tackle? What's your most important issue?
for me, it's somehow I feel like it's almost selfish that I really, but in my selfishness, I feel like there's a stance, and I know everybody's gonna be like, I don't know why you feel like it's selfish, because I still look at the United States as a whole. You know what I mean? But I really need a lot of attention to Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
I do, and I need a lot of changes to happen where it comes down to systemic racism, and I truly want an overhaul of government policies. Like, I need stuff to just be burnt to the ground, and I need it to be rewritten in a different way, because the old ways don't work for this new world. It doesn't. And until that is realized and worked, and to where we can truly be looked at in a system as human beings, that's my biggest thing.
It's very interesting that you said that, because I had a conversation last night with a friend, and we were talking about this same topic, and she was saying that the environment and, you know, the world and you know, pollution and ozone, all that kind of stuff, like, you know, global warming and all that kind of stuff is the most important thing. And I wanted that to be the most important thing for me. But I think that is a world issue. It is not just an American issue.
It is.
And I do believe, though, that had we not pulled out of the Paris Accord.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why he did that, but had we not pulled out of that, then we would be a leader in the front to combat global warming. The fact that he pulled out of that, it just makes no sense.
It was a business move for him, because he wants to become the leader in his ways. So this way, then the Paris Accord contacts us and goes, well, what are you doing that's making you the thing? And it's his way of trying to be in charge of it. Yes. It's a business move.
It's a business move. And like I said, I wanted that to be the most important thing, because honestly, if there's no earth for us to live on, it really doesn't matter about Black Lives Mattering.
But we have gotten better environmentally.
We have.
It's been minor changes, but it's been pretty good.
Right.
But go on, I'm sorry.
So, like, my thing is, it's not just about the Black Lives Matter movement. It's about the eradication of racism in all of our functions, in all of our practices, in all of our businesses, in our lawmaking, in our law upholding.
Agreed.
You know, I think with America, because that is our biggest original sin, the sin of slavery, that has dictated just about every single facet of this country since the beginning of us being here. And until they can eradicate that, everything else really isn't going to matter, because everything else kind of falls underneath that. Healthcare falls underneath racism. Yeah. You know, disparities within the wage gap among women. Yeah. That's still under racism. Yeah. You have our policing. Of course, we know that that's under racism. Yeah. And to an extent, even the environment, because of where they keep all of the nice pockets of the environment away from, you know, the powers that be, or, you know, their kids don't have to worry about going to schools in polluted environments. They don't work in polluted environments. Like, they ship us all off to the ghettos.
Water's different.
The water, exactly. The water's different. The air is different. Yeah. Like, you know, all of that stuff is rooted in racism. Redlining and, you know, pipelines that are going across in Alaska. Like, all of this stuff is rooted in white supremacy and racism. And for me, I hate to say this, even though it's the most important thing to me, I don't think I'll see that real change in my lifetime. I would love to, but I also feel like it's going to take a few more presidents. And if anything, it's going to take, really, to me, it's going to take the whole tearing down of the whole system and starting from scratch. No shade,
but like we had discussed before, I feel like America needs to be single for a minute.
She got to find herself.
She really does.
She needs to learn how to love herself.
She really does. And I feel like...
Beyond needs to fix her life.
Okay.
Call a thing a thing. Call a thing a beloved.
Okay. Because seriously, I think that there needs to be, like I said, there needs to be an overhaul in policies in the way that this whole country is run.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean, sit Trump's ass down, and we just be single for the next 4 years, and we rebuild. And then it's like, okay, with this new system, let's have a new face for our country to represent. Because now,
they are agreeing with us a lot in the chat. Getting more control on law enforcement, the problem with the police, of course.
Yeah.
For black people to be left the fuck alone.
Okay.
Amen. Leave us alone.
Okay.
Bianca also said, I want gay people to be left the fuck alone. Yes,
this is also true. This is also true.
Let's see. Hate, injustice, policies, etc. Rewritten and redone. Yes. Your sister said, I can't even vote. I just don't want to be scared of police because we get treated like animals.
Listen. My
God.
Listen.
Change the wording of the Constitution that keeps our status as 3/5 of a person. Come on now.
This is what I'm talking about.
Like the fact that stuff is still in there.
And this is why I say the old ways don't work with this new world.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And what's interesting is that other civilizations, other countries have revolutionized and changed their government to work better for the people.
But
and even if it is requiring that, they run somebody out of office, or if somebody's life is taken, they will do it however way that they need to do it.
Yep.
And for some reason in America, they have conditioned us to be so afraid of pushing the boundaries of change that we just deal. And I think this year,
we get complacent real easy.
This is the year that we've woken up to the fact of, okay, there is power for us to have. We just now have to go out and get it. We got to find the ways to get it. And, right now the thing is voting, but I also think that there's more than that. Like, there's more to do than just voting. Yeah. Sometimes you have to take certain things into your own hands. If they really want us to, if we really want to see change, then we have to be the change. And I hate to say that because it sounds so cliche.
It's cliche, but it is.
We've got to change our approach to how we deal with this stuff. Like I've said in the past, if we want to see gun reform and the gun laws change, then every black person in America needs to go and register for a firearm.
Yep. And watch everything change.
And
immediately.
Everything change.
Give it a month.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there'll be policies that will pass so quickly because there are too many black people registered with weapons.
Yeah. And the fact that people are already preparing for there to be rioting in the streets from white supremacists if Joe Biden wins.
And this is why I think I was telling you, I fear for the outcome of what's going to happen with whatever the result of this election is going to be, because it can be extreme on one hand, or it can be just numb on the other, or it could be a balance of both.
But you know what I feel is going to happen,
and I feel like just giving it over time, because I remember even when Trump got elected, the depression that set into people. You know what I mean? I had a lot of friends that were depressed. You know what I mean about that, and so this is...
Well, let me break it down even more than that. Because like you said, there could be numbness and there could also be something to the extreme. But you know whose feet it falls at? And this is going to determine how things go. As always, it's going to fall at the feet of white people in America. The privileged people in this country. Because if Trump wins, they're going to feel entitled and emblazoned to do whatever the fuck they want to do. If Trump loses, they're going to feel entitled and emblazoned to do whatever the fuck they want to do. And whose expense is it going to be at? Our expense. And who's going to be numb? We are. Because we've been dealing with this shit for 400 years.
Plus.
So, at this point, I needed Joe Biden to give me some sort of semblance that I won't feel numb if he wins. That I'll feel some sort of hope for the future if he wins.
And this is where I say, where I voted. I ain't gonna say to nobody who I voted for, but this is why I was on the fence with both of them. Because I know, as a nation, you have to appeal to the nation. It's just marketing 101. you're appealing to your whole audience. And there was certain wording that was done by both people. And Biden was one that, you know, you were looking for a little bit more care when it came to Black concerns. And I was waiting for just certain language that was still not presented.
He did say one thing that I can appreciate.
When he apologized?
Not even that, but he said...
Because that moment I appreciated.
I mean, I appreciated that too, but the one thing that he said, because it speaks to what you're saying, is that he said, I am going to be the president of the United States.
Right.
Not the president of the Democratic Party.
Right.
Whereas Donald Trump is only going to be the president of the Republican Party.
Right. This is true.
And his base. True.
He did say that.
Which is what they want.
Right.
Because they don't want Democrats here at all.
Just
like they don't want Black people.
I still need a little bit more language.
Oh no, I do too.
Concerns.
I do too, but to me,
but
at least that shows to me, like, okay, there is a concern, even if it's not real. Like, that's the other thing. I miss when politicians would lie to us and it was okay because we knew they just really couldn't do shit. But when Donald Trump lies, he lies about the stuff that he doesn't need to lie about. And that's what bothers me.
A number of people in a rally.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, if Donald Trump would have just came out and said, you know what, I love Black people, I do believe that racism is a problem in this country, and not do anything about it, I probably would have appreciated that more than him saying, you know, to the Proud Boys to stand by.
Yeah.
Like, saying there's good people on both sides. No, lie to me. Be a bad boyfriend and make me believe that you're gonna treat me like a queen. You know what I'm saying? Like at least do that. At the very least. But you beating my ass and you not even fucking me right? Like, at least Joe is trying to take me to dinner.
No, Joe is a whole gentleman. He's opening doors.
He like pulled my chair out. Like, he's at least like Trump took me to McDonald's.
Has told you that it was a 3-course meal.
Right. Like, Joe tried to make a reservation at Tao.
Right.
But they canceled because they ain't had no room.
Right.
But he's at least gonna take me up the street to get me, you know, like a pretzel or something in the city.
So he took you to a movie instead?
Yeah, he took me to the movie.
Oh my God, that is like the perfect fucking picture.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
God.
So I just feel like get my hopes up and then disappoint me. Don't disappoint me from the jump. And I still got to deal with you. Like, that's my thing. I don't want to be disappointed and still have to deal with my disappointment regardless.
Oh my God.
He hasn't even tried to make things better. Like, okay, let me not say that. So he worked with Kim Kardashian to get certain people released out of jail, you know, for minor drug offenses and all that kind of stuff. That's wonderful. But that is not monolithic to the Black community. Not every Black person is a drug dealer and can sympathize or relate to a drug dealer that's been in prison for dealing drugs.
Right.
So just because you release a few people in the community does not make the whole community whole again. You know, and even with Biden, just because you apologize for the crime bill does not mean that anything has been done to change it. The same thing with Kamala, because she put a lot of Black people in jail in California.
Right.
Now, acknowledging it is the first step, but what are you going to do about it?
Right. That was one thing that I did appreciate from Biden, because you could actually, during that whole moment, you could actually hear the passion in his voice. And I felt like there was conviction there, where he was like, and I've been trying to fix it ever since. And it was the way he did that, and I was just like, okay, I can appreciate this.
And that's the thing, when he was like, you know, when Trump kept saying, so why didn't you? And then Biden was like, Congress.
Right.
And that made total sense to me, because for 8 years of Obama's presidency, everything that he tried to do got shot down by the Republicans. So it wasn't like they didn't try.
Right.
Now it just happens to be that Trump has an advantage.
But Trump doesn't get that because he's in with a Republican House.
Right.
So him passing things is a whole lot easier.
He has an advantage now.
Right. So his whole mindset is like, well, it's been easy for me. Why hasn't it been easy for you? That's because he doesn't understand politics. He understands business. And he knows, get everybody that he wants in the desired positions to make things happen that he wants to happen.
Exactly.
It's just business 101.
Yeah. But then he's supposed to be a good businessman.
Well, Wow.
You know, it's just it's a lot, and I think that like I said, I just don't want to be disappointed anymore. And I feel like we have gone through 4 years of disappointment to the point now where we're like, okay, like you said, I don't want to be numb. And I'm numb. This whole summer, I was numb to police brutality. Like, we should not get used to that.
That's why I stopped every video that started coming up. I never watched anything after George Floyd, because I was just like, I need to purge. I don't want this to be an image that is always in my head, and it's just not healthy to watch this, because know what's going on. Okay, read an article. I don't need to see it. Because it starts to paint another picture in your mind.
And then it's just like, you know, when we do see it, you want to know that the leader of your country feels the way that you feel.
Right.
Or at least feels the way that the majority feels. Like I said this before, that this is the first time in this whole Black Lives Matter movement, I think that we've had the most allyship from non-Black people.
Yeah.
And it's been visible. So what you're seeing is that the majority of this country believes that Black Lives Matter, but we have a leader who believes the opposite.
Yeah. He just believes in business.
He believes in business, and he believes in himself.
Yeah. He doesn't see people. He just sees numbers.
And it's
that's
like
the problem.
I think that
everybody's a chart.
I think at this point, Joe Biden needs to show us that we are more than just numbers. We're more than just a demographic. That Black people are synonymous with Americans. And somehow that needs to permeate throughout every organization, business, company, you know, everywhere in this country. It needs to permeate through that.
Yeah.
And honestly, it needs to happen first.
Yeah.
Like, I get the LGBT community has their gripes, and I know that they have their issues. I know that women's rights is a big thing. And I also know that, you know, holding Mexicans at the border and tearing away their kids from their families is a big thing.
There's a lot to fix.
You know, there's a lot to fix. But start with the first thing that y'all really fucked up on.
Yeah.
Which is the ramifications and the results of slavery. And the inherent racism that is systemic throughout this entire country.
Yeah.
If you can start with that, and if you can have empathy toward that first, then it'll be easy for you to have empathy towards every other demographic. The reason why a lot of these issues with women's pay and LGBT rights and, you know, immigration are not working is because America still doesn't know how to handle their business with racism. Like, that could be so easy for every other demographic if we dealt with that. I just don't know if it's going to happen in a white presidency. I don't know if it's going to happen in Joe Biden's presidency.
Yeah, it's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute, unfortunately. But hopefully there will be steps so it doesn't become a whole minute.
Yeah.
And it can just be a few seconds.
Because I'm tired.
Yeah.
I remember I got a memory on Facebook about the last election that I voted in. And I was like, this is dope.
Still looking at Facebook?
I know.
I've been going on Facebook.
You know, I have an album to promote, so.
Jeez.
But
I need to go on Facebook.
But I remember back to Obama's first presidency win, and I was living in Elizabeth at the time, and I remember going to the election, you know, the poll location, and I saw my grandmother's sister, my Aunt Mary, and she was there with her husband. And she saw me and we met eyes, and I was like, oh my God, hey. And she was like, oh, hey. And then she just like kind of paused and she just started crying. Because for so many people in this country, like the effects of slavery and Jim Crow and all that kind of stuff is just a few years far removed.
Yeah.
it's not 400 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like 20 years ago for some people that are still alive right now. So with my Aunt Mary, she knows what it's like to be in segregation. She knows what it's like for sit-ins and you know, for the whites only things and all that kind of stuff and Jim Crow. She knows what that's like. She knows about Martin Luther King. She knows about Malcolm X. My father knows about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. He was around for the riots in Plainfield and the riots in Newark.
Gotcha.
So it's like, for the first time, you know, we're seeing a black person that is running for presidency. And it was like, oh my God, finally, something is different.
Yeah.
And now it's like that short moment of hope has been snatched away. Mm-hmm. And we're back to the bullshit.
But this is the thing. Like, Trump goes, there isn't, he goes, systemic racism is not here. I don't understand what anybody's talking about, blah, 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 blah. But you came into an office right after a black man was in the office and you made it your mission to erase everything he did. And you're going to say that there's not systemic racism when you're doing it and you still can't see it. It's that programming that has to be erased.
Yeah. They have to stop getting away with murder. They have to stop doing things and, like, you know, you throw the grenade and then hide your hands and say, oh no, there's no racism. Even though I just gaslit a whole bunch of racists, there's no racism.
Listen, even with Lucky, I released a song called Lucky. It's about Black celebration. And I tried to do a Google ad. And just like I do with just about everything, that ad report came back and said that this is shocking content and that they are not going to support it or promote it, to create a commercial and then do it that way. So I was like, okay, cool. I created my commercial. I put it back up on their platform and proceeded to submit. It's been submitted. It's enabled, but they have not started the process still.
So they don't want you saying that you got lucky to be black.
It's
because
too
I
black.
guess it's diminishing other races according to them.
It's shocking content. Then I'm doing a major event soon where they told me, I'm not gonna say nothing, but they told me that the song is too black and it's you know, it's just politics within the industry. Yep. So I can't perform the song.
And that was gonna bring me to my next topic.
So this is where we are.
Okay.
This is where we are. Like we can't even celebrate ourselves. Oh, but I'm sure if this was in February, little leeway would have been given. But because I'm trying to celebrate in October and November, like, why I can't celebrate my skin.
It might classify as hate speech or
like
degrading to other races, and it's like.
But how is that? Yeah. But how is that? You know what I mean? And this is why I say, again, back to my first statement, that's what I want the focus to be on.
Now, in conjunction with that, what we've seen over the last couple of weeks in the annoyance of this election season is the pandering. Yeah. Specifically to the black community.
A lot of pandering.
By the use of black music artists. And, you know, anytime something happens, we always wait for Beyonce to say something. So all the fans bullied her into saying something about the election. Right. She finally said that she was going to vote for Biden. But you see Lil Pump is on stage with, you know, Donald Trump, Ice Cube. There was a controversy about whether he endorsed him or not. But Lil Wayne has endorsed Donald Trump. Took a picture with him.
Yeah, I read that article.
But then on the same token, you have Lady Gaga and John Legend and all these other artists that are campaigning for Joe Biden. I don't think that I've ever been influenced on who I'm going to vote for because a celebrity or musician told me to. Same. Like, I really don't care what y'all have to say. Actually, the only person who might have influenced me this time, and I hate to say this, is Taylor Swift. Because she had been so close-minded and closed-mouthed about her politics for so long. And then she started
she went
switching.
On Twitter and she started she started
talking about Donald Trump. She started talking about, you know, gay rights down in Tennessee and the things that she believes in, the things that she supports, and she formally put her support behind Joe Biden. And to me, because there was an outward showing of a change of mind or some realness behind it, as much as I can believe,
right,
that would be the only person who may have ever even influenced me. I still made my own choice based on what I wanted,
right.
But as far as celebrities and musicians go, I don't care what y'all think,
and I don't care who you voted for.
Like, I really don't care. And I think what it was that it's kind of Obama's fault, because with his presidency and even with his campaign, everybody got behind him. Because it was monumental. Yeah, seeing Beyonce singing at the inauguration, it's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And her singing at last at the inauguration is a big deal.
It was, yeah.
I don't know if we're ever going to have a big deal like that unless Jennifer Lopez sings for the next Spanish president or Latin president.
Right.
So, which I don't want, because none of her notes will be right. There's a video that someone posted that I'll show you in a minute. But it was a big deal. So I can see the necessity during that time for the influence of celebrities and all that kind of stuff. Even with Puffy's, Rock the Vote thing back in the day. Right. All that kind of stuff. So I get that. But now a lot of the people that are of influence or could be influenced are older, and we're way smarter. Mm-hmm. Even the younger voters are way smarter. And they're not going to look at Lil Pimp and be like, oh, I'm a fan of his, so I'm going to vote for Trump. They're not going to do that.
I don't even know who Lil Pimp is.
Well, I can tell you who Lil Pimp is. Lil Pimp is a rapper, but he's a white rapper who's perpetuating the whole, black stereotype of rappers.
I don't know who Lil Pimp is. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You can call me old if you want to. I don't know who Lil Pimp is.
I don't either. All I know is that he is the perfect person to pander to younger voters on the Trump side.
Got you.
The same as Lil Wayne.
Got you.
Who is listening to Wayne's music right now?
Right.
It's going to be a lot of younger white people.
Right.
Whereas mostly Democrats. We already know that John Legend is a Democrat. He's already come out, spoken against Trump and all that kind of stuff. Him and his wife.
Right.
We know Lady Gaga. She stands for all the gays.
Right.
So if she's going to vote for Biden, then all the gays are going to vote for Biden. But
I'm sorry, that's great. My little sister doesn't even know who he is, so I feel great.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the other thing. Donald Trump didn't know who Lil Pump was either, but they called him Lil Pimp.
Wait, what is everybody saying in here?
They are saying, isn't it all a part of the machine? Lynn asked, how is that his fault? Isn't it part of the machine? I'm not saying it's Obama's fault because it's him. I'm just saying that because of the monumental nature of his campaign and his presidency, it made sense to have high profile people to help his campaigin.
I understand where you're coming from.
I don't care about. We talked about this. Was it last week or the week before? About it was last week. We talked about how nowadays everybody's a celebrity. So nobody's a celebrity.
Yeah.
So because of that, I don't really care what celebrities, political views are.
Yeah. The power and the mystique they have.
Like your views are not going to make me vote for whoever I'm going to vote for.
Yeah.
It'll make me figure out if I want to buy your record or not.
Right.
But it's not going to influence my vote.
Right.
Right.
It definitely. You're right. It's going to influence whether or not I stay a fan or not.
Exactly. What else are they saying? They said we do not need J-Lo singing nowhere. Come on now.
Shut up.
Unless she's lip syncing Ashanti. We keep letting these white folk do what they do when they go support Trump. Then they go support Trump. And some black folk too. Because here's the other thing that I've noticed. You got a lot of rich black people who believe they got rich during Trump's presidency, but it really was about the economy that Obama left behind that they can call themselves rich. And because they don't want to lose their money or get taxed, they're throwing their support behind Trump because he's trying to promise that the rich will not be taxed. Not understanding that when the proverbial shit hits the fan, black people don't get it first. Mm-hmm. So you can support him all you want to, thinking that your money is going to be that long, and it's really not. It's really not that long. because black money is not as long as white money in this country. And the fact that a lot of these people that are out here, these black people that are putting themselves behind Trump, knowing that he don't give two shits about us, like, what are we doing? What exactly are we doing? So
I mean, in hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, in hip hop too. I don't care about them. Like, it is what it is. We know the nature of the beast. White people sell better than black people.
Got you.
Like,
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I see what you're saying, babe.
Yeah. I get it because, you know, everybody's still flipping over JoJo and, you know, Christina Aguilera and all the white girls who sing. And it's like, yes, y'all can sing, but what about the black girls that have been singing? That's a whole other topic for a different day. Hey, Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah, so that's...
I'm just saying, give us our flowers.
No, for real.
That's
I
all.
feel
That's
you.
all.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's our election talk for the night.
Yeah.
And by the time this goes up on YouTube, the election will be over. And maybe, I guess the 10th is next week, right? At some point?
Yeah.
The 10th is next Tuesday. So by the time next Tuesday gets here, we will know who the new president is, or if we have a repeat of the old president.
Yeah.
And hopefully the country is not in shambles by the time we see each other again.
Y'all just pray. It's probably not going to be as bad as what I'm feeling.
2020 has given us
I watch a lot of movies.
2020 has given us a lot already. I don't put nothing past her.
It really has.
She is a bitter bitch.
Yeah, she is.
2020 is a bitter ass bitch. And she has had enough of us.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes, that's where we are.
If you have not voted yet, in New Jersey, you only have 9 minutes left to do so. So if you haven't, you're left behind.
Z said stores are already boarding up.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. So if you haven't voted yet in Jersey, you have 9 minutes left to do so. Stop watching us and go vote.
Right.
If you are in a different state, in a different time zone, or just check your locations to see when your polling areas close. Yeah. If you have not voted, please go and do so. And then if you believe in God, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe in yourself, just say a prayer for yourself, for your family, and for this country, that regardless of what happens, this will not be the end of the world for us. I do believe that regardless of what happens, God is still in control. Yeah. Okay. And, you know, it may seem futile to believe that right now, especially after this year, but the fact that I'm still here is a testament to God's care and his love for us. So the fact that we're all still here is a testament to that. So just say a quick prayer and you know, just think some positive thoughts. And don't watch the news.
Right. Lord Jesus.
Yeah. That's all I got to say.
All right, y'all. That is it for this evening. Okay. So.
Yeah, we're not doing a 2-part like last week.
Yeah.
Tight Tuesday.
I got mad shit to do. I mean, stuff to do.
Yes. We've been cussing this whole episode. So yeah. So any last minute announcements before we go?
Yep. Once again, Lucky merch
for your titties.
Okay, go to my page. Go to my Instagram page. Hit the link in the bio. Lucky merch is available. You know, go stream the song. Watch the video.
Yes, amen. Lucky.
And
hashtag lucky.
Okay. Yeah, that's where we are right now.
And
that's
it's still Kwame season, so
okay, yeah.
You know, go and blast that album.
Okay.
I check my numbers, and I don't have as many sales as I do have streams. So some of y'all fronting.
It's all right. They streaming.
I want y'all to buy it.
They streaming.
I got to pay my rent.
So many people they don't buy.
I want to give more music.
Nobody buys anymore.
This is also true.
Right.
But it would be nice. You know, $1 goes a long way.
It does.
It does. But yeah, so Kwame season is still upon us. There's the music. There's stuff. There's visuals. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's on my website. And then also, more importantly, Tired Tuesdays talent show.
Yes.
Like, I'm excited for that. I think that's going to be amazing. I promise I will not be the Simon Cowell of this judges panel. I'm not going to be mean. I'm going to be nice. I will never tear anybody down to their face.
Exactly. So, We're out. Thank you for tuning in to
I won't. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. I promise I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice to the people. But stay tuned so we can give you the information about how to try out for our talent show.
Yes, please.
Amen.
Yeah. Stay
That's
locked.
all, you guys.
All right, that's it. That's it. What else is saying?
They just trying to tell me
Hold
that I'm
on.
Simon Cowell. I am not Simon Cowell. If
He
anything,
is.
I am.
He really is.
I'm Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell. See? He just admitted
If
it.
I'm Simon, then you're Paula, who never knows if she's there or not.
On that note,
She's nice to everybody.
Because
She's
he
nice
just
to
played
everybody.
me. He just played me, and I need to do this back off camera.
Do you want to be Randy?
No.
Exactly. So then you're Paula. Damn it.
Can I just be the guest one?
No, you can't be the guest.
No, I'll be the guest.
Truth is, I'm tired.